So some people wonder how I mage defend, so let's just jump into this game and see how I go. So the first thing that I do is I grab full Cades and I drop a set for my PK def. So usually I would try to drop as many as I can, but in some games they rush really quick, so the best thing that you could do is just drop that top half of your inventory. Now sometimes I do take bans here. As I'm going down, then I take explosives. But in this particular game, I kind of knew their scores could get up and down pretty. If my PK def delays correctly, I'll be able to use more Cades. So I opt for the Cades this time. So now we just wait at small doors, just waiting for the first one to come. One's coming from rocks, and usually the other one comes from under. So here I get 2 cast off. He sets a Cade down and he goes up right away, but unfortunately getting splashes. I Cade off here so that he can't go back down and wait for his partner. And now I'm speared, waiting to get the cast, still casting away, trying to Cade a little path behind me just so they can't get up as fast, or they have to use explosives. I do freeze both, and I get Andy trapped in this little corner, which is good. So I get a little whack off here, and I'm grabbing some bans. I notice my HP. I'm kind of trying to stay about half HP entire time. I do Cade him off, so now he has to use 2 explodes, meaning he's going to be pretty low. I tell my PK to go and Cade for me, then he can get to tending away if he can. I do first cast twice again to get Andy and Alex again. So now I'm just going to restock on some bans because I want to stay at that half health HP just in case they wanted to try to ZGS me. Then I could just teleport and get immunity. Now here I'm just letting my PK get the tins off, and I'm just going for all the casts and trying to get retins if they do happen to try to bucket. Refreeze one, splash on the other, but I managed to get the Cade up, and I go up for this because the other one's frozen, and I kind of had to freeze him up here. Now I'm just Godsword whacking this one down, and since I have the ZGS, I'm just going to spec him just to get him refrozen, so that way we do manage to kill him. And I'm hearing that we're scoring, so the PK def says I'm going to help the score, and I said, okay, I'm going to solo def him up here. I have a ZGS with his name on it. Do get the ZGS off successfully, and he is frozen right here. So while he's frozen, get a couple casts in. Now I'm going down. Gonna grab a couple of these Cades because I'm out of Cades. So I set 2 right there because I have a feeling they're gonna get down. I'm just gonna tin myself in as soon as I get down. So he has immunity right there. I just get 1 cast in, and I miss a cast there, but fortunately first cast here, and I freeze the mage on the exits as well. So now that I'm frozen here, half HP, can suicide really easily. And it looks like we are going to get the score. And Alex should be unfrozen right about now. Gets a good spear off to eat into the immunity timer, and he does get firsted by me once again. Now we have 3 of our teammates on him, and what my priority here is just to freeze Andy Trey because that's the only pass they can get off. I have faith in my team that they'll be able to get the kill here, even though they're hitting a lot of zeros. Now, I do actually go for Alex because that was his freeze timer. And now, speared early, but we still got the safe off anyhow. And I cast Andy up here. But there's still an off in our base, which this is a pretty bad situation. I have no Ks whatsoever. So I do here is I just get here and going for some more casts, waiting for the timing. Have my spear out, so I spear, kind of run away so I can maybe get 1 cast, but he does pin me and he gets a spear off as well, so now I'm just going to go get a cast and go straight down because he does pin me. They're going to come down, and I'm just trying to get as many casts in as I can. He does get frozen, and here I do get the melee hit off, really big one. And the pin must have switched because he is getting destroyed. And we do happen to kill him as well. Get the flag safe off. Now I go around and I do manage to get a cast on the steps, leaving me to have a pretty clean restock. So that's kind of like just how I defend. A lot of first casting, but I do utilize my HP pretty well, so if I do get frozen, that isn't such a big deal. I do utilize my HP pretty well, so if I do